Hello, I'm Sargon Kizran, Senior Technical Adoption Manager for VMware by Broadcom. Today's video demonstration will be a walkthrough of adding a standalone ESXi host and using the vSphere Lifecycle Manager Images. Please note that these are all performed in my personal home lab and advise you always refer to VMware documentation, test as a proof of concept in your test environment, or seek assistance from VMware Professional Services. Introduced in vSphere 8 Update 1, vSphere Lifecycle Manager Images for standalone ESXi hosts. Now, vSphere Lifecycle Manager image-based clusters is no stranger and was originally introduced in vSphere 7. So let's get to it. So what we have here is vSphere, and we're going to be importing a brand new host at the data center level. Now we've got the wizard. So there's an option you may or may not be familiar with. And just for some background, this is vCenter Server 8.0 Update 3 that I'm running. And I'm adding a ESXi host at the data center level. And you can see here, there's a prompt for host lifecycle. And we've got multiple options here. We can compose a new image. We can import from an existing host in vCenter inventory, or you can use the current image on the host. What I'll be choosing is using the current image on the host, and I'll take care of the lifecycle later. However, if I have of like hosts with an image, similar hardware, configuration and whatnot, everything underneath the hood, then I can test out with taking an image from another host. But it's always good to vet out that you've crossed all the hardware, it's like for like, and it matches up with VMware's interoperability and your version of ESXi. So we'll go ahead and do use current image on the host. Of course, we're going to go ahead and assign a license. And we're not going to do any lockdown mode. Keep everything at the data center here for VMs and then ready to complete. So once the host is added, you'll see that our updates section of the host is going to show that it's image-based and it can be managed by a single image. So here we see that our host currently is on 8.0 update 1 and on this build. However, before we put it in production, we want to patch it. And from here, we can simply now upgrade to that 8.0 U3 version, in addition to any kind of additional add-ons you want to add to the host. If there's a particular version of VMware tools that could be newer than a host version, and of course, if this host is tied into a hardware vendor that has a supported hardware services manager and HSM with vSphere, then you can even perform some firmware and lifecycle. Hope you guys found that helpful, and please always refer to VMware documentation to read and learn more about managing standalone hosts with an image.